For most women, a round, plump booty is seen as more attractive than having a flat butt. But a nice looking bum isn't just important for turning heads, as they're one of the most important muscles for athletic performance and for preventing nagging pain, as most back pain and hip pain is due to weak butt muscles. With this being said, most people train these muscles the wrong way and end up wasting their time in the gym. The methods I'm showing today will not only give ladies the hourglass figure that they want, but will also help individuals get rid of daily pain. I guarantee you are making these 5 mistakes. First, it's most important that we understand what booty muscles do, or glutes. Most people don't know that the glutes are composed of 3 muscles: the gluteus maximus, the gluteus medius, and the gluteus minimus. The gluteus minimus, given the name, sounds like minimal. It's such a little muscle that we'll choose to focus on the gluteus maximus and medius more for this video. The maximus is on the back of the butt. It's the biggest muscle of the 3. And the way I like to think of it is that since it's directly on the back of the butt, it helps the legs go backwards or posterior, otherwise known as hip extension. The glute medius is on the side. Just like the glute maximus example, where the muscle is on the body, it tells what direction we will exercise it. So since it's on the side of the body, it can be exercised by bringing the leg out to the side. Now that you understand the muscles better, here are the 5 mistakes. The first mistake is that ladies choose the wrong exercises to target the gluteus maximus, which its function is to extend the hip or the movement of driving your hips forward. Most glute exercises you'll find online either don't train hip extension at all, or they'll train hip extension but not in a way that enables you to use heavier and heavier weights over time. The best glute exercises, instead, I would use the best glute exercises that help you to get more hip extension and enable you to use heavier weight over time, like squats, leg press, Bulgarian split squats, hip thrusts. I know they're not exciting exercises, but if you use the right form and develop strength, you'll see booty growth like you've never seen before. Even with the right exercises, if you don't perform them with the correct form, you're going to end up working the wrong muscles. Which brings me to my second most common mistake. The second mistake is working your quads more than you're working your glutes on accident whenever you do leg exercises. The reason for this is because the angle of your torso to your legs can affect what muscles you hit. So the angle of your torso as you perform these exercises, based on many studies, have shown the more forward your lower leg angle is, the more leg movement and more the quads will be involved compared to the glute. But on the other hand, the more forward your torso is, the more the glutes will be involved, because this increases the amount of hip extension in the movement, which, as you remember, is the main role of the gluteus maximus. Some people squat more glute dominant with a vertical lower leg angle and lean the torso forwardly naturally, whereas others are going to squat in a way that's more quad dominant with the forward lower leg angle and upright torso. This is perfectly fine, and the glutes will be heavily involved either way, but it's just naturally how some people do it. But we can fix this. Some people make this problem with leg presses, Bulgarian squats, but we have the greater ability to adjust our form and emphasize the glutes and leg press. So in leg press, for example, if you place your feet higher on the platform and stop each rep until your knees hit 90 degrees, this would enable your shins to stay vertical over the foot throughout the movement, and will also involve more hip extension, which puts more focus on the glutes than the quads. And many studies have shown that greater glute activation with a higher foot stance gives significantly greater quad activation, and you can also apply the same concept with lunges, Bulgarian split squats, and so on. By leaning forward and taking a slightly wider stance, my lower leg is able to remain vertical over my foot, and I'm able to emphasize the glutes more. Also keep in mind that my back is still neutral. I'm not rounding my back, but rather bending over slightly at my hip. Make sure to apply this to exercises and you'll feel the difference right away. Let's move to mistake number 3. We talked about the quads taking over in these exercises, but in different exercises, the lower back and hamstrings can actually have a tendency to take over as well. For example, let's take a look at great glute exercises like the Romanian deadlift. Although this exercise will work both the hamstrings and glutes, you can modify your form to emphasize one over the other. If you try to keep your legs completely straight on the way down, it'll emphasize your hamstrings more. Instead, to stress the glutes, you want to use knee bend. In addition to this, on the way down, many women try to get as low as possible, but you should only go down as far as your flexibility will allow you to. To this point, which the hips stop moving backwards. On the way down, you can see here that once my hips stop moving, if I try to go any lower than this, just my lower backs will start to round, which will take the tension away from my glutes and place it on my lower back. Try and look in the mirror when you're working out during this exercise and spot the point where your hips don't move back any further, and then stop each rep and then go back up. As soon as you reach this point, for some of you, this will be around the level where your hands end up around your knees, while others will be able to go lower depending on their mobility. So we already covered what some of the best glute exercises are, but the way you program these into your workout is also very important. This is because different exercises challenge a muscle in different ways. Bulgarian split squats, for example, they challenge the glutes the most at the bottom position when the muscle is fully stretched. At the top position, however, there's no tension placed on the glutes. The same can be said for back squats, leg presses, Romanian deadlifts. Research shows that challenging the muscle in different ways can lead to more complete growth in various regions of that muscle. So in the case of the glutes, we'd want to add in an exercise that challenges the muscle when it's fully shortened, or in other words, at the top part of the movement. Exercises like hip thrusts, both to do that by providing little resistance to the bottom when the glutes are fully stretched, and the most resistance at the top when the glutes are fully squeezed. Now apply this concept to your glute focused workouts. I'd recommend picking 1 to 2 exercises that challenge the glutes most at the bottom position when they're fully stretched, and then also include one that challenges the glutes at the top position when they're fully squeezed. Although picking the right exercises and performing them correctly will set you up for success, some ladies, especially those of you who sit a lot during the day, will still have a hard time activating and feeling your glutes working. One way of improving this is with activation exercises. So here are some easy exercises that force the muscle to carry the load so that the brain can learn how to use the target muscle and recruit it during your main glute movements, as it helps to send a signal from your butt to your brain, so you automatically do these during your exercises. I did a video on this, so give it a watch. It'll cover a quick daily routine that you can do to start to wake up your butt muscles so that you're activating them better during glute building exercises we covered earlier in the video. Implement these 5 things and you'll start to see very quickly and start to feel a difference in your glute development. If you found this video helpful, make sure to subscribe, and if you have any questions or concerns, drop a comment down below and I'll answer them personally for you. Now, if you enjoyed this video, I think you're really going to enjoy this one. I'd recommend you watch that.